up? What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video here in the Silver Surfers channel. And got something that I wanted to kind of share for a while now. I know a lot of you guys mainly collect coins that are slabbed, but we got to give some of the raw coins some love too, huh? So I have a bunch of raw coins as well. These are actually some of the first coins I had in my collection. These coins were given to me by my dad. Many of these, especially in the old flips here you see, back in the day when I was a kid. It was his coin collection, which eventually he passed down to me and sparked my interest as a young boy in coin collecting. Fast forward to teenage years, lost interest for about 20 years or so until I ended up going home not too long ago and found my old coin collection and started looking things up again and stuff along those lines. So there's nothing too spectacular per se in this collection, but it is just nonetheless nostalgic, kind of a family heirloom, if you would. And yeah, I'll hold on to these forever. So I'm not gonna go through everything in here. We'll take this off too, but I do want to just go through a few different things and show you guys what I got in the box. So just kind of starting off here, you see got a little Indian head cent. Like I said, none of these coins in here are like anything too spectacular, but just kind of cool stuff that was all passed down from my dad and sparked my interest. He's got some corrosions in 1889. I got a bunch more Indian head cents going through here. Let's see, this one's a little better. I graded all these as well on my own. Who knows if they're exactly correct or not? Probably not, maybe off a little bit, but based on the Red Book's guide and different features, I think I did pretty good to help my family in the future. Not that they would sell these for much more than whatever coin shops are paying for them. So some more Indian head cents there. Indian head cents. And then we get into the Lincoln cents, which these ones in the old flips, these are kind of crazy, huh? These are my dad's, all these coins were, but these were in the flips, the original flips, and I just made markings on them of what they actually were and things like that based on the grades. So a nice little weedy there, huh? A little 1913 VG. I did complete the whole entire Wheat Cent album, which I'll show in a different video, and these are some of the ones that were already in flips or better dates. I had a lot of missing ones. There's a nice 13S VG. I had a lot of missing ones, especially the early San Francisco ones that did not come when my dad passed this stuff down. So anyways, I had to buy them. And these are usually the ones that you see here in the newer flips that are a little bit more tough dates, like 14S. I do have the 09S VDB. I do have the 14D, etc. Those are actually graded, and I think I've shared those in a previous video. What do we got here? There's a nice little 15S. Pretty cool. So yeah, just a bunch of Wheaties here, and then this whole section all the way back here is just a bunch more Wheaties that was passed down to me. What is this? A 23S. Trying to get into the camera there. Backside for you guys. As I said, I'm not going to bore you, and I have them in date, mint mark, etc., all the way down for a while here. So look at this one, a little 49S. That's a nice looking coin. Huh? It's got some luster on it still. Not on the backside. All right, moving along. We're still in the Lincoln cents here. We are still in the Lincoln cents. And again, some of these are a little bit more better as they get newer. Oopsie. Here's a back now. We're in the Memorial coins. That thing's got some nice luster though still. But yeah, so anyways, let me know what you guys think. You guys got any of these old school 2x2 flips or things like that? Pretty cool. All right, so now we're done with the Lincoln cents there. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through all these things quick as possible. This is a Shield nickel. This is dateless. I graded it in AG. It's pretty worn down, but nonetheless, put it in the flip to preserve. Got another another Shield nickel here. This is an 1868. Graded this in AG. Not bad. And we got some standard V nickel things. What do we got here? Let's get a little better one here. Here we go. There's a little good 1900. I graded this a good. This is a cool coin, you know, the old V nickel. I like it, especially in high grade. They kind of get a bad rap, but it was one of many of Barber's coins that he made, and not well liked. All right, so now after those, we start getting into things like the Buffalo nickel. I got a whole bunch of Buffalo nickels here. A nicer one, 30S. I graded this a fine. I don't know, what do you guys think? Pretty nice coin. Tons more Buffalo nickels. Again, I'm not going to go through all these things. Just wanted to share some of them. Now we get into some the Jefferson nickels. 1938, first year issue. I think he had a little set of all three of these at different mint marks and stuff, so I put those in flips. Yep, here goes the 38S. So, the standard coins there. Again, very nostalgic. You know, even this one right here, check this out. This one's pretty cool. It's got my dad's or my grandfather, I bet that is. My grandfather's handwriting on there, the Jeff Nickel up above. I did not write that. I wrote the red. 20 cents. That's probably how much he paid for it back in the day when coins are cheaper. I have no idea what the rest of the markings notate, but anyways, that's that. We got some Silver War nickels, 35 percenters. 43S. I don't want to make this video too long. All right, that's it on that. In here, we got some raw coins. I think I've shared some of these in the past here, but I'll just get these out in general. Ooh, one of them that he did leave me, this one's a pretty good coin right here. This is a better date, 09S, not the VDB, but nonetheless, it's a nicer probably XF or so, maybe even AU. It's got some luster. It's actually a really nice looking coin. This one's worth a little bit more than a couple cents over face value. This is a good coin, guys, right here, the 09S. And then these are I just slapped these in here. I've already shared these in the past, but just because they're raw, I put these in there. Oh, there goes a little Goldie, huh? Gold's hitting some spot price increases. I might have to sell this thing soon and get my 4 times value out of it. What do we got here? We got the 21 piece. We got the 23 proofy. Yeah, I bought a lot of those when they all came out. I still like them. This metal is really cool. I like the Mustang 2022. Got the 21 Morgie. What is that on the Carson? Yep, Carson Privy. That's pretty cool. Bought this up in Alaska at a little mint in town. Pretty cool little round. So that was neat. I got it in 2021. They do a yearly issue of them. This is a really good coin, guys. I've shared this, I believe, in the past. This one was for my grandmother. Look at the toning's pretty crazy on it. But it's a 96 San Francisco. And for those of you that don't know, look at the toning on this thing. It's a really nice coin. This is an expensive coin here. This is probably the best coin that I inherited out of the family's group. When you start getting up to XF, AU, and above on the 96S, price skyrockets. In lower grade, it's standard Morgan price. But in a XF and above, and I would say this is probably AU. It's got a bunch of luster on it still. It's got some wild toning. That's an expensive coin. These things can sell for probably $600-700 in today's market. All right, a bunch more nickels. Not going to bore you guys with all that stuff. Nickels, nickels, nickels. Tons and tons of nickels. All right, now we got some other things here. A bunch of Mercury dimes are next. Nice little Merc dime there. And the Merc dimes continue for a while until you get to the old silver rosies that he saved. A bunch of those. And I'm flying through this to make this somewhat doable. Got a bunch of old standing libs. Again, let me go back to this one right here. Really cool, man. My grandpa's writing there when he was collecting coins with my dad when he was a kid. Part of my dad's collection. Look at all the rust on those staples. If it was a more expensive coin, I would take it out, but it doesn't bother me with that. All right, going through. Ooh, here's a nicer one. Little VG. One of my favorite coins here. I think this is one of the most beautiful coins ever minted, to be honest with you. I got a nice 17 full head in a 64 grade that is graded. But yeah. Anyways, then we got a ton of Washington quarters here, all different dates, mainly all ones 64 and before, saving for the silver content, obviously. So tons of Washington silver in here, tons and tons and tons. Again, I'm not going to go through all these. Then there's some other things that I started to get into, and the W's. All these W's here are all like 10 bucks a coin, to be honest with you. And I pulled all these from Coin Roll Hunting. I've pulled probably about 50 or so of them, sold a lot of them, kept one of each example kind of thing. But yeah, any of the W mint marks. That was a fun time searching through for Coin Roll Hunting for all these different coins here. Really, really fun for those couple of years and beyond. And then finally we get into the halves, and ton of half dollars. Mainly Walking Liberties and Franklins and some Kennedys as well, but all silver is like the remainder of this chunk right there. And then in this box right here, it's basically just all silver. Common stuff in general are all just different Franklins. That's a nicer Franklin right there, huh? Well, 62D. But it's all filled with silver halves, the whole entire thing, all the way down until you get to the end. Over here, I don't know what this is. This was my buddy, Coinsense and Nonsense. Shout out to you, man. I still got this. Nice fresh roll, the Washington Cross and the Delaware quarters. Those are just really neat. I'm going to save onto those. Thanks, appreciate that, man. And then a bunch more, what it looks like, Walking Liberties here. Just a ton of more Walking Liberties, different dates. Until finally, I think, yeah, there's a couple dollars in here. No silver dollars. I got those in a different book. I'll do those in a different video. These are just plain old Ikes that I saved back, though. A little Proofy Ike right there. Oh, it's got some weird stuff going on it. There's a 40%er. So a couple silver ones, but... And then a 2000 Sacagawea and the Bucks coin that I shared with you guys in the past. So anyways, that's what's in the box. Let me know what you guys think. It's always fun going through raw coins, you know, being able to hold them. And it's just different than coin collecting nowadays with all the grading, slabbed coins, and you can't get a feel for the real deal anymore, you know. So it's always really fun just going through this collection here of raw coins and just kind of checking it all out. I got a book that I did inherit some other coins as part of this, that I pulled them out. They're in 2x2s and they're in a little lighthouse book that has like just more type coins, but there's some early coppers that are half dime. What else is in there? Some better half dollars, like a couple seeded liberties and stuff like that, which I'll share in a different video with you guys. But anyways, just wanted to share this with you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you guys have any raw coins yourselves? Do you collect them? Do you prefer slabs? Anything like that. So until next time, Silver Surfer is out.